This video is going to be about electromagnets. Okay, so what are electromagnets? How do you build one? So I want you to be able to draw what an electromagnet looks like and label it, and also be able to explain how it works. So here is an example of what an electromagnet looks like. This is one that we built in the classroom. Okay, so we had a battery, and then we had some wire, we had a metal bar. Okay, so you should be able to draw it. You should be able to do exactly what I did. You should be able to draw it, label it, and then explain how you make it work. So when you connect the batteries to, basically you have to connect the battery in order for it to work. You take a wire, you take it and you wrap it around a metal object. And then when you connect it from the negative terminal to the positive terminal, then you will end up having current flowing. Current is flowing now. Okay, and as current flows, this creates a magnetic field going all the way around this thing. And it's really cool, actually. But that's how you make a magnet. And I guess some questions that I would actually have would be, oh, hold on a second, I'm sorry. Not this one. This one. What are some ways to increase strength of an electromagnet? These are some of the ways that you should know. These would be in your notes. If you don't have them, you might want to get them. So these are some things that I would do to increase my magnet. You can add more coils. You guys noticed that in the lab. The more coils that you had, and when I say coils, I mean add more, make them tightly wrapped, put them around each other, stack them on top of each other, like so. The more coils you have, that means that's more wire for current to have to flow through. And as current has to flow through that, it's going to create a stronger, tighter magnetic field. And then another way you can increase that is adding a bigger battery. Okay, woohoo, big battery. That's really bright. Or you can use metal. I know in your groups I gave you all kinds of materials, and some of y'all noticed that if you use plastic, it didn't really work very well, but if you use metal, it worked even better. Okay, so those are 3 ways that you can get it to work. What are some advantages an electromagnet has over a permanent magnet? Well, you can turn it off and on. You can't ever turn a permanent magnet off. It's always going to be magnetized. You can adjust the strength. If you want it to be weak, like you don't want it to, you want to be able to set it by your computer without it messing up your information, you can do that. Or, like in some stores, when you go to the checkout line and you got perfume or a watch or a movie or something, and they take your belongings and they run it over the table. What they're doing is they're trying to make it so that as you leave, you don't set off the alarm. What they actually are running it over is a very, very powerful electromagnet. Or let's even say if you go to the store, and you buy some clothes, those little things that are on your clothes that keep you from stealing them. When they take it and they stick it into that little machine, and that machine takes those little theft proof things off of your clothes, what they're really doing is they're sticking it into a very highly magnetized electromagnet. Your doorbell is another example of electromagnets. When you press the doorbell, you have connected the circuit. Let me go back and show you. You connected the circuit, causing a magnetic field to go through like so, and that magnetic field causes the bell to go off. Electromagnets are really everywhere. Anyhow, so you can adjust the strength. You can switch the poles, because right now this could be north, this could be south. Well, how do you switch the poles? If you take this thing right here and you connect this to the positive side and this to the negative side, you have just switched the poles. Okay? Good test question. And then another is you can make it big or small. Like sometimes you might want to have a very small electromagnet, but it's very powerful. Or sometimes you need a big one that's not that powerful. I don't know when that ever happens, but you can do that. So you can have a really tiny one. You can use a paper clip and make an electromagnet. Or you can have a huge, very strong, powerful, big one. Okay? So that's basically how that goes. And I'm done.